Good afternoon everyone. Welcome to Unacademy. Today we are going to discuss about Douglas McGregor, who has given theory X and theory Y. So McGregor belongs to a behavioral group of theorists, and how you write easily a 20-mark question, we are going to discuss that. So before that, look at this chart. There are three groups of theorists: classical group, human relation group, behavioral group. I am showing this chart to you every day, so I want you to understand this and remember this. So classical group already we have discussed. Just wait. Classical theorist already we have discussed. Human relation theorist also we have discussed, and today we are discuss about behavioral theorist. And Taylor, father of scientific management; Fayol, Gulick, Orbig; Max Weber, father of bureaucracy; M.P. Follett, she is ahead of her time; Elton Mayo, father of human relation theorist; behavioral group: Bernard, Argyris, Likert, McGregor, Simon, Maslow, Hosberg. Bernard yesterday we have discussed. Today we are going to discuss McGregor, who give theory X and theory Y. Simon, decision making theory; Maslow, Hosberg, motivational theorist. So one thing I want to tell you, in paper 1, unit 1, basic concept, you found historical development of public administration. Propounded by Nicholas Henry and Golembowski. So 6 stage, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 stages of development of public administration. So many people want it difficult, so I am just giving a clue. This is the second stage, this is the third stage, this is the fourth stage. Just try to remember. So Henry Golembowski's 6 stage of development of public administration, you easily remember the 3 stages. First stage was dichotomy stage. When we discuss Woodrow Wilson, I will tell you in after some class. So this is the second stage, principal approach; third stage, human relation approach; and fourth stage, behavioral approach. So try to remember these 3 stages. Okay. So McGregor, managerial philosophy. Easily, M for McGregor, M for managerial philosophy. So in this way you link it. So McGregor belongs to the behavioral group of theorists. From this, how you write an introduction, just I am telling you. McGregor belongs to the behavioral group of theorists, or McGregor is one of the most important behavioral theorists. He was influenced from Bernard, who is known as first behavioralist. During the period of McGregor, other behavioral theorists like Argyris, Likert, Simon, Maslow, Hosberg given their theorization. And you already knew that all behavioral theorists criticize the classical theorists. So you can write McGregor has given his theorization by criticizing the classical theorists Taylor, Fayol, Gulick, Orbig, Max Weber. After that, what I have told you, publication, McGregor come out with many important publications. You can write that. So your introduction, and it is come as a 20 mark. Individually, McGregor can come as a 20-mark question, but along with other theories, it may be a 60-marker. If they want to write all the 4 theories, so it may become a 60-mark question. So you write the intro, after that body. Managerial philosophy, just you remember theory X, theory Y. So remembering theory X and theory Y, the theory X is classical managerial philosophy, just opposite it theory Y, behavioral managerial philosophy, you can write the answer. After that, you write the conclusion. Again, divided into two parts: criticism, two-line criticism, two-line contemporary approach. How McGregor's theory why idea is still relevant in some organization. So that we are going to discuss. Again, this chart, same thing. Woodrow Wilson, this is the first stage. I have told you Nicholas, Henry and Golemboski has given historical development of public administration 6 stage. Just remember the 4 stage. This is the first stage, the classical principal approach. This is the second stage. This is the third stage, behavioral group 4 stage. So this is the 4th stage. So you can write your answer that how historical development of public administration happened. So first, second, third, fourth stage. This is the first dichotomy stage. That means difference between polity and administration. So this is the syllabus and we are discussing about behavioral theorist McGregor. McGregor give managerial philosophy. Just remember, theory X is classical managerial philosophy, theory Y is behavioral managerial philosophy. So when you knew the character of theory X, in the first class I repeatedly told you to understand the character of classical theorist, that how a classical manager behave, and opposite it become theory Y. So very easy, we'll discuss. So McGregor can be asked as a short question or with other theorists a long question. Some model question from McGregor. This may ask that McGregor has rejected the classical managerial philosophy. 20 mark question. McGregor has rejected the classical managerial philosophy, that was theory X. According to McGregor, leadership plays an important role in success of organization. McGregor gives importance to leadership in organization. Again, theory Y, leadership. Compare motivation theory of Maslow and McGregor. It was a 60 mark question already asked in 2016 mains. The motivation theory of Maslow and McGregor. Theory Y managerial philosophy promote participative management, decentralization, delegation and performance appraisal. A 20 mark question, the answer is given inside it. So you can guess that theory Y manager promote participative management, decentralization, delegation and performance appraisal. So again, same way, introduction, body and conclusion. So we discuss it. So introduction, you write about McGregor. He is a behavioral theorist, participative management theorist, socio-psychological theorist and his publication. In body, theory X managerial philosophy, which is classical approach. Theory Y is behavioral approach. You remember the classical approach and opposite it is behavioral approach. Example, top-down communication, opposite is circular communication. I am just giving an example. If you remember 5-6 point of behavioral classical manager, you can opposite it to write behavioral manager. Write 10 point each of theory X and theory Y. Maslow influence from McGregor. So this question, theory Y managerial compare motivation theory of Maslow and McGregor. You can write that Maslow was influenced from McGregor. Theory Z is given by William Auchi. William Auchi is a theorist. He gave the concept theory Z. McGregor idea of leadership. idea on conflict resolution. Theory Y implication, delegation of authority, decentralization, job enlargement, participative management, performance appraisal. Transactional influence by McGregor. This is the structural note I am giving to you. What is transactional influence? Combination of organizational goal with individual goal. McGregor found it in Scanlon plant. Scanlon is a place where he come out with this plan. So this is Scanlon plant, transactional influence. In conclusion, you can write that situational theorists have criticized McGregor. They said that depending upon the scenario, situation, education of employee, skill of employee, theory X manager also become successful. It is not like that always theory Y will be successful. So it is criticism and contemporary approach. You can write down organization when employee are more educated, more skilled, they don't want to be dominated. Theory Y manager is successful. Service sector, you can give example of any service sector where theory Y manager is more successful. Okay, so we go in detail. Just give you some information that Unacademy has conducted a mains GS mock test series under Mr. Sir. So it helps you in your mains preparation. This is a daily G20 test series. It is also given free. Daily current affair by Vibhuti Bhushan Sir. So it will help you to make a base. And this is the 6th batch. Already 5 number of batch is there, Samisha batch for OCS Foundation. So you can attend all the 6 batch. And this is the 3rd batch of ASO. Anyone want to prepare ASO? So you can join this course. And this is for police exam, sub inspector exam. And there is a daily GS T20 test series. It is for everyone, or Odisha level. You can get your score. And about me, just I have 5-year experience in teaching public administration, appeared in both OPSC interview and UPSC mains. And how you study public administration, you should remember the whole syllabus and understand the interrelation between different units. Read some unit of paper 1 and paper 2 together. Before starting a unit, analyze previous year question, make structural note. This is the book I have written, just go through it. And in Unacademy, I am teaching public administration, where I conduct 90+ class, where we discuss both paper 1, paper 2. This is in 4th comprehensive course, part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. We discuss all previous year main question paper. Our focus is on answer writing and how to add current information in your answer to make your answer more relevant, more dynamic. And this is my code. Please use it when you take plus subscription. And this is the fees for 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 12 month and 24 month. You can have a trial basis 1 month only 1260, and I have 18 special class in Unacademy, so you can watch all the special class in free. So just download the Unacademy Learner app and watch all those classes in public administration. Follow me there, Deepak Kumar Swain, and watch all those classes. So now, Gregor, this is an introduction. McGregor is one of the most important behavioral theorists. He gave his theorization in a period where other theorists like Bernard, Simon, Likert were present. McGregor has criticized the managerial philosophy of Taylor, Fayol, Golly, Corbett. McGregor is also known as participative management theory. He criticized classical theorists who follow a method where manager dictate and employee follow that. So in classical principle, the manager has the sole power to decide. So the manager decide and the employee follow. This is classical approach. The employee has no right to participate in decision making process. Gregor studied the socio-psychological behavior of individual in an organization. The publication of manager, you can write it, the human side of enterprise, the professional manager. If you forget the name, you can just write McGregor come out with some important publication that has great relevance in organization today. So after that, McGregor gave two types of managerial philosophy, theory X, theory Y. Very easy. How a theory X manager behave. If you understand that, you can easily write the theory Y. So McGregor managerial philosophy MM, theory X, theory Y. Classical behavior. Okay. So this is theory X and theory Y. Theory Y just consider all classical theorists follow this approach. All behavioral theorists have this approach. So the classical theorists, be it Taylor, Fayol, Collick or be it Weber, they adopt this approach. That what they believe, manager believes subordinate lazy so avoid work. So Taylor already tells that in this soldering concept that subordinate are lazy. But what theory Y? Bernard, Argyris, McGregor, Likert, Simon, these people, they what believe? They believe subordinate is creative and derive pleasure out of work. So just opposite of classical is behavioral approach. In classical, communication is always top down. The communication is top down, but here the communication is circular. Circular means both top down and bottom up, circular communication. Employee depend on manager. Employee always dependent on the manager, always want to be guided, directed. But here employee are independent. Here employee always follow order. Employee always follow order of superior. Employee always follow order of superior. Employee is innovative. Here employee is innovative. The theory Y, manager believe employee are innovative. The manager control the employee. In theory X, the manager control the employee. It is a what type of control? Man control. But here the employee are self-control as they are smart and innovative. The employee are self-control. No need to control them. Here positional authority is there. That means someone sitting in the position, he has the authority. Here functional authority. Being promoted by Follett. Although Follett, we have discussed that Follett belongs to classical group, but her idea resembles the behavioral group. External control, that means subordinate is controlled by the superior. Here internal control. Subordinate is controlled internally. Subordinate is immature. Subordinate is immature in theory X. Or theory X manager believes subordinate is immature. Here he believes subordinate is mature. Here production is always minimum. Here production is maximum. Here individual decision making, that is only manager make a decision. Here group decision making, manager plus employee. Here centralization, authority is concentrated only with the manager. And here decentralization, authority is given to the lower employee. Positional order, that means the position, the top, the manager. Here functional order or situational order. Order should be come from situation, not from the person. Positional leadership, who is sitting in the position, he is the leader. But here functional leadership, who can solve a particular problem should be the leader. Clear? So this is, you remember this point and just opposite it. This is theory X, managerial philosophy, and this is theory Y. McGregor has rejected the classical idea of man control, where same control mechanism is used for every employee. That means same control. If employee is in leave, cut the salary. Every employee. But he suggests that selective adoption of control, where control mechanism is adjusted according to the subordinate by the manager. Just giving an example, you are a manager. There are 6 employees, and if you are a theory X manager, what you do? If any employee take a leave or absent, you cut salary. It is adopted for everyone because you are a classical manager. But if you are a theory Y manager, you follow the selective adoption of control. That means you found that why this one, suppose A is lazy, so you must cut his salary. But if M, he has some genuine work, you should not cut his salary. You should give him a chance to complete his work by doing 1 more hour daily. So this is selective adoption of control. Control mechanism according to the employee. So the manager should behave like a amateur psychologist. Psychologist means who knew or understand the mind of employee. So as a manager, you should behave, or as a leader, you should behave like a amateur psychologist who can understand the need, the problem of employee and solve it. According to McGregor, conflict is inherent to any organization and must be handled in a way so that it will not lead to any loss. The classical theorists avoid conflict. They said conflict is always disastrous, but McGregor said no, conflict should be handled in a better way so that it will not lead to any loss. He gave 3 strategies to tackle a conflict. First is divide and rule, second is suppression, and third is working through a difference. So these 2 are classical approach, divide and rule and suppression. The manager tried to suppress the subordinate and he divide them and rule them. But McGregor reject both these 2 and working through a difference where both groups are satisfied. It is same as integration. It is same as the integration method of Follett. After that, McGregor gave a concept of transactional influence. Try to understand this. Transactional influence means everyone. Suppose this is the organization. This is people working. This is people working. This is manager, senior manager. This is junior manager. This is supervisor. This is employee. So he said everyone should influence each other in this manner, that like this. Everyone should influence each other. Everyone should influence each other's idea. Okay, so this is transactional influence. Everyone should influence each other's idea. This happens when organizational goal combined with individual goal. When in district administration, it is DM, SDM, BDO, the lower clerical staff. So transitional influence is when DM influence SDM, SDM influence DM. When SDM influence BDO, BDO also influence SDM. When clerical staff influence BDO, BDO can influence the clerical staff. Everyone should influence each other. So this happens when organizational goal combined with individual goal. So individual as a BDO, your goal is development. The goal of organization is also development. So when your goal same with organizational goal, transactional influence happen. Trust and mutual confidence between manager and employee, which leads to success in the organization. Okay, trust and mutual confidence between manager and employee leads to success. McGregor implemented his plan in Scanlon. It was famously known as Scanlon plan. So what is Scanlon plan? This transactional influence. This is Scanlon plan, and find out that theory Y is more productive than theory X. So just mention that is in Scanlon plan, McGregor found out that theory Y is more productive and more successful than theory X. So now criticism. It is important. It is concluding part. Criticism. The situational theorist criticize McGregor, and you read in detail about situational theorist in administrative behavior. There are a number of situational theorists who give their idea about leadership motivation. So situational theorists criticize McGregor by saying that theory X cannot be failure always and theory Y cannot be successful always. Okay, it depends upon the situation, depend upon the skill of employee, their education, that you cannot have theory Y manager. In organization where employees are less educated, theory X will be successful. Construction sector, industry, where employees are less educated, they cannot be self-controlled. In construction center, if you believe employee will self-control and you will not manage them, you will find them sleeping. So this is the example, situational theorist. After that, this is contemporary approach. You can write that, you will end your answer with this. That theory Y is more relevant in 21st century because it is knowledge-based economy. Knowledge-based economy where workers are highly educated, highly skilled. They don't want to be dominated. They can self-control themselves. Clear? So in this situation, the theory Y managerial philosophy will be successful. For example, Infosys, Wipro, or any other service sector or government sector. Suppose you become a OS. You don't want that your sub-collector will control you, guide you in every moment. You can self-control yourself. Okay, so this is the contemporary approach with which you end your answer by giving one or two examples. So this is all about McGregor, who give the concept of theory X and theory Y, who are managerial philosophy. Tomorrow again we will discuss about another behavioral theorist. Okay everyone, goodbye.